The race for the playoffs is front and center this week. And here's a look at the AFC contenders. And it's not just who is in or out, but how the seeding shakes out. What a great time of year. It's the Browns going up against the Chiefs. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A gain of 3, second down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw here. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Leonte Carew, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They'll get 23 yards there. And the Browns are going to have a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice session.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball is expected to be caught.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
Eight yards to go here on second down. He'll drop to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he has Carew. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they face a second and long to start things out.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Four down, four down. Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
They'll set up to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
Surveying the field. All kinds of time. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
But, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Back to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw again. Over the middle, able to find Carew. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Charles Clay, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And now here comes Kansas City. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right, the sync just wasn't there.
Carew's got it complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Leonte Carew as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point try now for Walsh. And it is now 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Now back to throw. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Let's go!
They'll throw now on the final play. He'll rifle this one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So we reach. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Again, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game. You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. He'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Carew. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is incomplete. But just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Walsh now for the PAT.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
2nd down now after the pass completion.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw again. That's caught at the 1. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them. Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why they're important.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have, where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
26 yards on the play there. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down, 4 down. Here we go. Green.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a third and about 13.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Chiefs, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a home date next week against the San Diego Chargers. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.